So the good part about coming after Marie is that she's done a great intro into the business that we do. I obviously represent the U.S. country operations and the U.S. market here. So my intent is to provide an overview in this presentation of how the broader imaging IT business translates into the U.S. market, the peculiarities of the market, the things that we're addressing and really focusing on that are both unique to us, but then also aligned with our broader global strategy. So just to start out, who am I? So I am, as Marie and Torbjorn are the longest serving members of the group represented here, I'm probably the newest member of the group represented here in this group. So I joined Sectra in August of 21. So I am a solid 18 months into my tenure here and moving very quickly. My background, so I did my undergrad and graduate work in mechanical engineering, actually. I designed and built race cars and had a lot of fun with it. However, even before that, my entire career, going back to when I was 15 working at Xerox doing Six Sigma work, has all been focused on IT, high-performance computing, and image processing applications. For the last 15 years, I have spent most of my time and effort in the defense and intelligence industry in the United States, actually. So some really strong, interesting synergies and overlap with the communication side of the organization here. Previously, one of the things that actually attracted me most about the opportunity here at Sectra was my previous opportunity. I led the US organization for a Swedish-American joint venture called Vricon, which was a project between Saab and an American company where we focused on global scale automated production of extremely accurate digital twin technology for interesting activities. For me, I like to describe it to people because not everybody really understands the transition coming out of the defense and intelligence world and coming into the healthcare technology world or the life sciences world. For me, from day one, when I started talking to Torbjorn and getting an understanding for Sectra, it felt extremely natural. At a technology level, being an image processing person who focused on pioneering some of the early applications for broad-scale spectral analysis for the DoD and military. The image processing core technology side of things is actually very similar between the two domains. The best developers I've ever hired throughout my career either came from the healthcare world or they went to the healthcare world, without a doubt. At a business level, the level of regulation and bureaucracy across the markets is very similar in both domains as well. It's really just a question of trading satellites and airplanes as sources for imagery down to CTs and MRIs and everything else that we can find. For me, it's been a fascinating transition into Sectra, and it's been one where not only have I had the opportunity to learn a lot about the market, but I've also been able to bring a lot of my expertise coming out of the small, very active, bleeding-edge technology business world where growth and scale and enterprise deployment and cloud scenarios has been kind of the bread and butter for my life. And that's really core to where Sectra, particularly in the United States market, sits today. So, the US country operations. So we are the largest sector imaging IT business unit. We, as an organization, primarily focus all of our efforts on delivery and support writ large. So we are the arm of the organization that takes the core technology that's developed by our headquarters, and it's our job to get it to the clinicians as quickly and at as big scale as we possibly can. So we represent a market that is not only large, but also rapidly growing. And we are in a position in that market where we are very rapidly growing our market share. In addition to that, we're also in a place with the broader market where there's a very active transition ongoing from the kind of legacy enterprise capital software procurement models into a more modern, streamlined, and efficient SaaS, and then ultimately cloud-hosted SaaS model across the board. So for us, our focus is within the broader imaging IT market in the US, our focus is on production hospital organizations. So our sweet spot from a product market fit perspective really is today centered around these relatively large academic multi-site health systems. Ultimately, that product market fit extends beyond those that tier of traditional academic medical centers, medical centers, but also extends out into the next tiers of larger integrated delivery networks and the large for-profit commercial multi-site health systems as well. So for us in the US, the overall market size is roughly 20 billion SEK or 1.75 billion US dollars in today's terms. And it's a market that, similar to Canada, is very ripe for replacement in these existing health systems, for sure. So for us, our goals as an organization are very simple, ultimately, and very focused on creating an organization that can scale to meet the demands of the market. We are extraordinarily well positioned and have been. It's taken a lot of work to get to where we are. But the combination of the market forces and the very active replacement market that's out there, plus our position in that market, leave us a huge opportunity in front of us, and one where our ability to scale and run as quickly as we can while maintaining all of the core core perspectives that make Sectra. So our core focus on our customers while maintaining that is key. So for us, we represent also within the broader Sectra portfolio probably the most active and rapid pivot into our SaaS, cloud-based SaaS offering as well. It's driven by the fact that our market obviously is more comfortable with our public cloud providers, given they all come from the United States. So that's a key part of the strategy, and kind of layered on top of all of those things is the customer success management process that is being championed by our headquarters organization, but really hits the road in our organization and with our deployment and support people. So our current market position, you've seen this twice now, both from Torbjorn and Marie, and I'm going to show it to you again just to emphasize how important we think that this recognition is. And an award is an award, but what's underneath it is really representative of the fundamental base for our strategy in the market across the board. If you have happy customers, all else will follow, right? So in the US, we've been best in class for 9 years running. This has put us in a position where almost every hospital system, when they go out for procurement for replacement of an existing system, will include Sectra in their process. That's a huge benefit for us on the market. Again, it's taken a lot of hard work and a lot of time to get us to this position, but being in a place where our name recognition via KLAS and the research that the kind of trusted research position that they have in the market really gives us a strong competitive advantage. And this is an absolute critical focus for us as an organization continuing moving forward. The market as a whole, so we represent, as Marie said, about 57 multi-site healthcare systems. What that actually translates to is that we are live and active in over 700 sites in the United States, crossing 3+ time zones, once we factor in a few sites up in Alaska, which are a lot further away than many people give them credit for. We represent just over 170 employees today, of which we have successfully hired and onboarded and indoctrinated into the Sectra culture more than 30% of that total in the last year alone. So as we've been working as an organization to focus on that ability to scale, the ability to not only recruit and onboard employees, but bring them up to speed and get them productive faster has been a core component of that focus. Our usage, this shouldn't be surprising at this point in time, given all of my talk about our current market opportunity and our need to scale. We've been growing very rapidly. There was a long, steady path of us finding our footing in the market, and we very clearly hit an inflection point in the pre-COVID era where we started to really break through into a tier of these healthcare systems that let us grow our, ultimately, top-line revenue and our total exam count at a different level than we had before. That trend is going to continue and increase as we continue to take advantage of this place that we're at in the market today. This is another topic that you have probably heard 3 times in the presentations thus far, but which I'm going to re-emphasize as critically important for us in our organization. We are unique on the market in the United States in our offering of a true SaaS solution where we actually provide not only the software as a subscription service, but also the full infrastructure package for our customers. This has been a very intentional and strategic decision for the organization, and it's one that that is truly a differentiator for us, and it resonates strongly with the customers in the US marketplace for sure. One of the reasons why that's critically important, that the resonance of that model is critically important, is because it's a critical step in our product evolution to enable us to scale more efficiently as an organization. Just hiring people doesn't work, right? We can't go out and scale linearly with people to the number of exams that we're running. We need to be able to deploy more, faster, with the same or fewer people per licensed exam that we're doing at any given point in time. So for us, being able to take full control over the infrastructure side of things, where we tended to get a lot of complexity in our deployments, and be able to standardize that down into something that is consistent and supportable over time, is going to get us to a level where we will be able to achieve those efficiencies and to be able to really drive that scale. Ultimately, that ends up with us in a position with our customers where we can make them happier. So when we talk about customer success management, a key focus for us and something that we continue to measure is the reality that as we move customers into this model where we're taking more ownership over the whole offering and the whole experience end to end, that those customers should be and will be happier overall with a more efficient delivery of support services from our side. And ultimately, what you saw from Marie earlier in the context of our entire enterprise platform also provides us with a key differentiator on the market in a time when the healthcare systems that we're selling to are coming into a replacement cycle where they've realized that what is termed deconstructed approach to PACS has not been successful. So another kind of unique positioning point for us on the market is we truly focus on having a single platform, common platform upon which all of the functions that clinicians inside of these healthcare organizations need. And we take care of the seamless interfaces between all of these different applications. It's all running off of a single consistent back end, so you can get to a place where you can do tumor boards that involve specialists from many different disciplines all interacting on the same data in the same place at once. And we can do it in a way where the IT organizations that are customers aren't attempting to solve the headache of integrating disparate software when there are relatively poor standard interfaces across the market. So we're seeing a lot of signals from our market right now that in the current replacement cycle, most of the large organizations we're interacting with are shifting away from that idea that they can put together best of breed, and instead are increasingly looking for a single vendor who can provide all the solutions and be the one responsible party that they have to work with. And that is exactly in our sweet spot as an organization, which again, puts us in a really good place as we look forward from where we are today. Speaking of forward, for us on the future opportunities side of things, I split this up into two pieces. So first, from the market position side of things, legacy PACS vendors are shedding market share rapidly. This is across the board. The big legacy providers still hold a majority of the market share in the United States. They're all on downwards trends as far as their overall market share percentages. That correlates with the fact that our market share continues to increase, and what we see from our performance on the market when we're competing head-to-head with those organizations is that our win rates are very high. Anecdotally, I can share that the class organization, as part of their research, shared with us when we visited them 2 weeks ago that of all the procurements that they tracked last year at healthcare organizations in the United States, Sectra was included in the procurement process just under half the time. And of those procurements that we were included in, we won half the time. So that's a pretty strong statement to begin with, and I should note that we qualify out a lot of opportunities, so it's not at all surprising that there are some opportunities that we didn't participate in because they didn't fit our profile of these large multi-site hospital systems where our value proposition is the strongest. But to win half of the procurements that we're at the table at is a pretty impressive and remarkable feat. The next level down from that is the feedback that they provided is the number one criteria for the deals that we lost on price. So as Torbjorn said up front, it's okay to be expensive. In a world where we're resource constrained from a deployment and support perspective, making sure that we're getting the highest value customers and utilizing our resources in the most profitable way is a really good place for us to be in our market, for sure. There is a broad consolidation trend. This does good things for us in two ways. For our existing install base, we see a lot of organic growth coming out of them buying up smaller sites around them and increasing their usage of our products. Additionally, for the new opportunities that are being presented, increasingly these opportunities are larger multi-site hospital systems that fit better into our core sales strategy, for sure. And then again, as I discussed earlier, this shift away from the deconstructed PACS model places a lot of these new procurements and their strategies squarely in the focus of our core product design. So on the innovation side of things, there's a lot of focus inside of our organization now on being able to get through the initial stages of our rollout of this cloud-based SaaS offering and to start realizing the operational efficiencies that we expect coming out of it. That's going to be a big piece. We see this really significant opportunity in the market around the kind of broader integrated diagnostics discussion. Digital pathology has finally really started to pick up in the United States. We've been slow, honestly. The market has been slow. The Nordics and Scandinavia have been way ahead of us. But we're finally at that tipping point where we see the indications from the procurements that are coming up that market is taking off now. And the genomics project that we're just kicking off now provides us with an even more differentiated position in that oncology space where there's huge growth from the broader market perspective. And then finally, AI. This is one of those topics across the board that all of our customers are interested in talking about. There's still a lot of noise in that discussion. Our position as a platform vendor puts us in a really solid place to be able to get our foot in the door with these customers and create an established position and benefit from the successes that they have with particular AI vendors, but also insulates us from the risk of the high churn and the questionable ROI around any individual algorithm itself. So lots of upside there. And with that, I will hand it back to you, Lisa.